God. No Miranda rights?
This TikToker thinks he's extremely well known.
Can't assume that everybody knows who you are.
I don't assume that everybody knows who I am. I said a lot of people know who I am.
I believe you, and I never said that.
Why are you saying all that?
I said you don't know that this guy knows who you are.
Oh, he so did.
He's not. Also, he thinks that he is above the law.
You guys are so annoying.
And is shortly going to find out that he isn't.
Today we delve into the mind of someone who believes they are the star of their own movie, the hero of their own story. This is a look into the mind of someone suffering from delusional main character syndrome. Imagine a world where every passerby is a supporting actor, every conversation a pivotal plot point. For those afflicted, the line between reality and fiction blurs seamlessly, crafting narratives where they are the center of attention, and destiny bends to their will. Main character syndrome isn't a medical diagnosis, but it's a term that quickly piqued curiosity online over the last few years. Main character syndrome is defined by a series of behaviors in which you see yourself as the main character in your life. You are the protagonist, and everyone else is simply there to support your character. Today we look into the cringy and pathetic story of Icy Wyatt, TikTok's most deluded influencer.
A pink Mercedes seen driving recklessly. The driver, Wyatt Adam Yeager, known on TikTok as Icy Wyatt.
In March of 2022, Wyatt Yeager, also known as Icy Wyatt on TikTok, would be arrested. The then 25-year-old would have about 1.3 million followers on the app during this time. In March of 2022, Yeager would be seen driving his pink Mercedes erratically down West Sunrise Boulevard in Florida. This erratic driving followed a road rage incident just a few minutes earlier with the truck seen in the previous clip. Yeager, in a rage, would follow this truck to a Chick-fil-A, where after cutting off the driver, he would exit his vehicle and begin threatening the two occupants of the truck. Court documents would say he would pull a gun from his glove box and threaten the two individuals. When they attempted to get back into their car and leave, Yeager would then hit one of them in the back of the head with his pistol. In a moment here, we'll watch some of the body cam footage as later in the day the police would come to arrest Yeager for this assault. Much of the footage we're going to be looking at here in a second has been provided by Explore With Us. They're a true crime channel. I think they actually have a couple of channels that focuses on the body cam and interrogation footage in a case. They go through a lot of work to get that footage, and I'm glad that they have it. It allows the rest of us to view it and comment without having to go through the annoyance of contacting the county and getting the footage ourselves. So if you're into true crime, check out Explore With Us. They're a great channel for that. But let's get into the arrest of Wyatt here.
Y'all don't know who I am?
Nope. Get on the ground or you're gonna get tased. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
You can't take my phone.
Already, we are seeing evidence of that main character energy, that you don't know who I am. Far too many quote-unquote influencers get a 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, and now think that the rules don't apply to them. That simply because people follow a web page of theirs, that they are somehow Himothy Hims. And you're just not. You are a guy. And the same laws that apply to the rest of us apply to you as well.
You guys are so annoying.
On March 28, 2022, officers responded to several 911 calls about an alleged assault and bizarre driving in a Chick-fil-A parking lot in Sunrise, Florida.
Prior to this road rage incident, Wyatt would claim that the people in the truck, involved in this incident with him, had been harassing him on the road due to his fame. He claims that they were either fans of his or somehow recognized him and wouldn't leave him alone, and that's why this confrontation, in his mind, was justified. In a moment here, we're going to listen to some of the 911 calls as well as a little bit from the witnesses, and we're going to find out that basically what he claims happened simply didn't happen. That he was doing his standard main character shit where he was doing his own thing regardless of whether it affected or inconvenienced someone else. He was confronted on this, and his solution was to then brandish a weapon instead of simply moving on like a normal person.
This guy just got out of his car and pistol with me with a gun.
The calls continued to filter in.
Yeah, there's a guy driving around in a pink Mercedes. He almost just hit a lady with pushing a little stroller with some kids in the shopping center.
I just saw a guy on a pink Mercedes SUV. Mm-hmm. He went down off his car, shirtless, shoeless, and started shooting the lady's car.
So we have 3 witnesses call in to 911 reporting Wyatt's behavior in this shopping center. The first caller would be the one involved in the actual assault. The other 2 were simply witnesses from the shopping center. We note with that second caller that before Wyatt even begins his assault, before he even gets out of his car and brandishes a weapon, in his rage, he nearly runs over a woman and her child, according to that second witness.
Window.
I think they called too.
Yeah, woman in the car. That was like beating on the window. I was like, come on, man, get back in the car. Go about your day. He goes, oh, fuck you, this and that, I got a gun, all this. I'm like, okay, whatever. He cuts us off right here.
Okay.
Threw the drink at me, so I got out of the truck, obviously. Once I got out, he walks back into his car, he grabs his gun, points it at me. And I'll be like, all right. They pointed it in my face. I'll turn around just to leave, and right as I turn around, he's whacking in the back of there. So there was literally a lady with her infant baby. Crossing the road and he literally almost hit him.
The police would then track down Wyatt, as he had, according to multiple witnesses, brandished a weapon, assaulted someone, and nearly run over a child. The police had no choice but to take this as a serious threat to the people around him.
Officers finally find Wyatt as he's leaving his house in the notorious pink Mercedes, and clearly he isn't eager to speak with police.
Hey, put the car in park. Put the car in park. Let's go. Put it in park. All right. Put both your hands out the window. Put your hands out the window. Put both of your hands out the window, kid. We're not fucking with you.
I don't know who I am.
Nope. Get out of the car. Keep your hands up.
I can't take the seatbelt out.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Do it now. Take your seatbelt off and get out.
Now, like we saw in the intro clip, already we've seen his delusion. There are multiple police here. There are drawn firearms because he has threatened someone with a firearm. The police have no choice but to believe that there is a firearm in that pink Mercedes with him. Instead of being concerned about the multiple police, the guns pointed at him, his first idea is to question if they know how important he is. Don't they know he's the greatest thing to have ever come to the internet? When they then tell him, bro, we don't give a fuck, get out your car, he's going to get snippy with them. He's going to be like, oh, can I take my seatbelt off first? Delusion. This is the consequence of too much time spent on social media. We have deluded ourselves into thinking we are important.
Get out of the car. Lay down on the ground, buddy. Lay down on the ground.
I know my right.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground or you're going to get tased. Get on the ground or you're going to get tased. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Ooh. Next time, do what you're told. We won't have that problem. I got it.
Now that was hilarious. Watching him get body slammed to the ground because he's too self-deluded to follow a simple order. This is the humility and the reality check so many influencers need today. You are not special just because someone taps the follow button on a page. You are not a hero. You don't get preferential treatment. You are just a guy.
Oh my god. No Miranda rights? No Miranda rights.
Though Wyatt denies he has a gun in his vehicle, several witnesses allege that they saw him with one. The officers will...
Now, this is the weirdest thing about this whole situation to me. Actually, there's another plot twist towards the end here, but we'll get to that, not in this video. But the weirdest thing about this whole situation right now, the police are here to arrest him. He knows what he's going to be going away for. He knows he's fucked up. And he never takes the gun out of the car. Keep in mind, the body cam we saw earlier when the incident was reported, it was sunny. It was daylight. At least some time has passed, a couple of hours at least, because by the time they detain him right now, it's night. So he has gone home. He has had time to pull that firearm out of his car and at least try to pretend he didn't do it. But he is so self-absorbed, so certain there will be no consequences to his actions, that when the officers arrive, you'll see in a second here, the firearm is still in his car.
Will need to perform a search on the Mercedes before it can be released.
Would you mind if we just look through it real quick? Are you allowing us to look through the car or no?
Yes.
Yes?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do that then. Lock and open. Where's his keys? You still got keys or...
And there it is. No attempt to hide it. It's just there. The firearm is in the car. And he has made no attempt to cover for his actions because he's so certain there will be no consequences to them.
After the firearm has been located in his vehicle, we return to Wyatt, who's been fairly calm so far.
It looks like they're going to end up taking you to jail for the incident that happened with the road rage thing, because they said that there was a gun involved and they described the whole thing and the gun's there, and it seems like that's what happened. He said he got hit by a gun, there's a witness, the whole thing, so we can't not, unless you have something else to say about the incident.
I don't hit nobody.
Well, they're saying otherwise, and they describe...
Now, the video would go on. There's, more footage of him being a dick at the jail, and that's to be expected. He's clearly a man of character up to this point, and he goes on to just be a problem at the jail. He would be charged with multiple things, 5 separate charges. I'll pull those up for you in a moment here. And then he would post bond and be released. And for a time, that's the only update we had. When he was arrested, he would receive 5 charges, and I'm going to pull those up on screen here for you. He would be charged with aggravated battery with a firearm, 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resistance or obstruction without violence. After he was arrested, Wyatt would post bond and would get out of the jail up until his first court date. Now, this is the plot twist I was talking about earlier. To my surprise, and I'm guessing to his surprise as well, when he went to his first court date, which was not the trial, right? It's all there is a whole bunch of pre-trial court dates that you go through far before you actually hit trial for your crime. It was at that court date that the judge would actually revoke bond and decide that Wyatt, due to the nature of his crime, would need to be in prison up until his trial, which still hasn't happened yet. Once this court date was set and he would have his bond revoked, he has been in prison from that point all the way up until today. We still haven't had a trial yet.
We're hoping for 15 months, and I've already done 7, so that's what we're hoping for. Gotta stay hopeful.
And that is pretty much all we know. A whole bunch of the court cases were backlogged back when COVID was going on, and a lot of the courts in the U.S. still haven't caught back up. There have been a couple delays in Wyatt's case. He switched lawyers at one point. He went through a program that the county offered him in exchange for essentially an attempt to get a more lenient sentence. He went through a behavioral health course. But still, up until this point, we haven't had a trial. I can't seem to find a set trial date yet. If you know what it is, feel free to leave it in the comments below. It hasn't happened yet. This TikTok from his wife is pretty much the last update I could find. There's a further call where he's calling the phone with her, but she records it. And he's basically just talking to his fans. I'm not a fan. I don't care what he has to say. Particularly if you're such a jackass that you're going to drive around abusing a loaded firearm, abusing the people around you, nearly running over a woman with her child, like I just don't care what he has to say. But I am curious to see what his sentence is going to be. I was super happy to hear that judge revoked his bond. It is becoming far too common for influencers to, commit an act of violence or, just in one form or another commit a crime and then get away with it simply due to their popularity. That's not a precedent we want to set. Making videos does not then negate anything, wrong you do simply because people watch you on TikTok. I will be keeping an eye out to see if we get any updates on his case. As of yet, I haven't seen any. But this is the sort of behavior where, like at the intro of the video, where you just think you're the main character, where life is revolved around you and everyone else is there to support you. And that's just not the case. This young man needed a reality check, and he gave it to himself in the stupidest way possible. This has been Distorted Reality. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. My channel is very small. At this point, the only way the channel grows is through you as the viewer. It would be super helpful for the algorithm if you would just leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe if you thought the content was good. Other than that, until next time, stay safe.